Buenas noches para todas y todos y buenos días para el profesor Hasegawa. Recordamos que la Universidad Nacional de Yokohama tiene convenio con la Universidad Nacional de Colombia y es por eso que hoy estamos haciendo este evento para orientar a la mayor cantidad de personas en la experiencia de estudiar en Japón. Entonces está aquí Andrés Piedrahíta y Pedro Valderrama, estudiantes que hicieron su movilidad académica en esta universidad. Recuerden también que tuvimos un conversatorio acerca de la experiencia de movilidad en Japón. Estuvo buenísimo este conversatorio. También les pedimos que vayan a nuestro canal de YouTube, que la vean, no se la pierdan porque hay muchos datos muy interesantes en lo académico como en lo cultural. Pedro, profesor Hasegawa, bienvenidos y empecemos.
Muchísimas gracias, Paola. Muchísimas gracias a todos los presentes. Entonces, ahora sí iniciaremos en la conversación con el profesor Hasegawa. So, Professor, welcome on behalf of Colombia National University and on behalf of the International Exchange Office of the Bogotá campus. It's wonderful to have you here. Me, Pedro, and the whole team are so grateful to share this experience that we have in this agreement that we have between Colombia National University and Yokohama National University. Pedro and me already did a talk about our experience on the JOY program, on the International Exchange. You can find it also at the YouTube channel on the International Exchange Office in Bogotá. But in this occasion, we extended the invitation not only to the Bogotá campus, but to the whole campuses in the whole country. As you might recall, Colombia National University has a lot of campuses around the country to have as wide as coverage as we can. So we have people not only from the capital, Bogotá, but from every region in Colombia, from many different cities. They already told us in the chat. So if you're interested in knowing some of the names of the cities of Colombia, well, then maybe later we can share with you. We have people from many, many cities and many regions like Bogotá, Bucaramanga, Pasto, San Andres, the island, which was actually heavily struck by a hurricane like a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, this is open for everyone. Then once again, thank you for being here. I know it's like the time difference is always an issue between Colombia and Japan. It's 14-hour difference. It's 9 a.m. already in Japan. So good morning to you, and I think we are ready to start.
Okay, thank you so much. So thank you everybody for coming, and thank you for allowing me to be here. It's an honor to talk to you. So let me start by giving a very brief presentation, and this is the general introduction to the university. And so I will just give an overview of the university. And I really think that the question and answers will be the most important part. So I will keep my general presentation short and then move on to the Q&A. So Yokohama National University. So this is an aerial view of the campus. This is Yokohama. This is downtown Yokohama, the area known as Minato Mirai, which is the new downtown that has been built. And over here, the green area here, this is the YNU, Yokohama National University campus. And as you can see, we're relatively close to downtown, but a bit removed. So we're not in the midst of the urban center, but we're on a bit of a hilltop. So if you come on campus and at night especially, you can see the downtown view. So one of the things about our campus is we have one campus, which is actually not, many universities in Japan do not have one campus, but we have different faculties, but they're all together on this one campus. And the campus was actually originally the first 18-hole golf course in Japan. In the 1960s, the different departments of the university, which used to be scattered around the city of Yokohama, they gathered on this campus, and we are all here now. And the campus is about 3 kilometers away from Yokohama Station. Again, not in the center of the city, so there is a park-like atmosphere, lots of trees and open spaces. So you can both study and relax on the campus. So this is just a map showing you the access from the airports. So I think if you're flying in from Colombia, most of you will be flying into Narita Airport, but there are connections from both Narita Airport and Haneda Airport, and we are here. And Yokohama Station is one of the central transportation hubs, so it is very convenient to go to both the airports and also many other places throughout Japan. So it's easily accessible to Tokyo. And also one of the stations of the Shinkansen, just the express rail that goes all throughout Japan. There's a station called Shin Yokohama, which is quite close to our campus. You can easily go to many places in Japan from close to our campus. So just a brief background to the city. The city of Yokohama is not an old city. It used to be just a little fishing village up until the mid 1800s. And in the mid 1800s, there was the arrival of the so-called black ships from the US, which you see here, that they arrived to open Japan, which before then was a secluded country. And so Japan opened. Yokohama became a port city along with some other port cities. And after that, Yokohama as a city grew very rapidly. And it became the port city through which many new Western things entered Japan. And it became an important window that sparked the rapid modernization that occurred after. So brief history of Yokohama National University. The very beginning was a normal school, that is a teacher training school. So 1874, the normal school of Yokohama was established. And I will not go through all of these, but there are different departments, the different schools that existed. And all of these merged in 1949 to become Yokohama National University. And another thing that's not mentioned here is, as I mentioned, 1960s, they all came together in one campus. And 2004, there was a kind of reorganization so that it became a national university corporation, like the other formal national universities. So the university was founded in 1874. We have 7,500 undergraduate students, 2,500 graduate students, about 1,000 international students. So about 10% of the entire student population are international students. 5 colleges, 5 graduate schools, 1 campus, 600 faculty, full-time faculty, and 140 international partners. So a message from our president, I'll just read this briefly. One of the strengths of YNU is that it can conduct education and research that integrate the humanities and sciences, because the humanities, social sciences, and natural sciences are all housed on the same campus. So that is one of the great strengths, I think, of our campus, is that it has a diversity of specializations and also a diverse faculty and students as well. And international students like you all contribute greatly to that diversity. So there are 5 colleges in YNU, and these are the 5 colleges: education, economics, business administration, engineering science, and urban sciences, and 5 graduate schools as well. Now, roughly corresponding to the undergraduate colleges, but a bit different, and including some interdisciplinary fields. So, Graduate School of Education, International Social Sciences, Engineering Science, Environment and Information Sciences, and Urban Innovation. We do have some all English programs, so it is possible to join and study even if you have not studied the Japanese language before. So on the undergraduate level, there is what's called the Yokohama Creative City Studies program, the YCCS program. And if you come on our exchange agreement and come join us in the JOY program, many of the classes you will be taking will be the same as this program, the YCCS program. In many of your classes, you'll be studying together with students of this program. So this is an interdisciplinary program centered around the urban studies, but the classes include all sorts of fields and more traditional fields as well, such as economics, literature, and so forth. And when we look at the graduate school level, there are many more all English programs that exist and that you can see here. So YNU is a highly internationalized university. We have 6 international branch offices, 170 partner universities in 47 countries and regions. About 10% of the international students, 10% of the students are international students, and global alumni associations across the globe. And just to give you an idea of the breakdown, regional breakdown of the 170 partner universities, institutions, most of our partners, as you can see, are in Asia, the other regions, as you can see here. And looking at the regional breakdown of the international students, where they come from. Again, most of our international students come from Asia and other regions like this. Okay, so these are just some pictures of some of the facilities. So we have a relatively new library, which is partially open now, but it is a new building with nice open study spaces. And if you come, as I mentioned, you can come study with us on the exchange program, even if you have not studied the Japanese language before. And some students do come with 0 Japanese language, and that's okay because there are classes given in English. Plus, there are also Japanese language classes that start from the beginner level all the way up to the advanced level. So typically, most students who come to study with us on the JOY program, they take a mixture of Japanese language classes, classes given in English in their specialized disciplines. And we also have a variety of student groups to support international students. They're very active in organizing joint events with international students. And there are also multiple cafeterias and shops on the campus. Okay, so we do have a website, although you may find that not all the information is there, but that was a very brief introduction to the university. So I'll open it up now to any questions you may have, and then I'm going to stop my.
Thank you, Professor. Yes, thank you. That would be great. So we have a lot of questions coming up around. First of all, I would like to ask you the question by myself. I'm sorry if I take some of the time. Just to clarify the options that we have from Colombia National University to go to Yokohama National University. So the main one would be, of course, as Pedro and myself did, would be the international exchange on the JOY program, right? But is there any chance that we or any student can do like an academic exchange directly to one of the schools? Like, for example, let's say I want to take classes on the engineering school. Will that be possible in that case?
Yes. So there are 2 main routes to come study on exchange. The first one, as you say, is the one you're most familiar with, the JOY program, which is the most common way to come join on the exchange program. And that is pretty straightforward. You apply through your international office, and you complete the application, and we place you in one of the colleges, and you take classes, mostly Japanese language, and all the classes available to you. So that's the first and most common route. There is another route that you mentioned, and that is to enter directly into one of the labs, or one of the colleges, or one of the graduate schools. And mostly this is for graduate level students, and mostly this is for students who are studying with a faculty member at, for example, Colombia National, who have research ties with a faculty at YNU, and it's a kind of laboratory to laboratory kind of connection. This one, it's not, we don't have as many students coming through this, but it does exist as a kind of an alternative route. The difficulty is, though, that you need to obtain prior permission from a faculty member at YNU. You need to get a letter of permission from a YNU faculty accepting you into his or her lab in order to apply. So in the JOY program, you do not need this prior approval. You can just apply. But for entering directly into the lab, you need to get prior permission from a YNU faculty member. Okay. So, there are these two routes, yes.
Thank you so much. So I'm gonna read this question because it's like a three-part question, parts in Spanish. I think I can help answering a little bit of it, and then I'll translate it to you in English because I'm not sure if we have enough information for it. So in Spanish. La pregunta de Gisela, las preguntas que nos hace Gisela, las probabilidades de conseguir un trabajo en Japón desde la parte de salud, siendo graduada de la Universidad Nacional. Un extranjero puede realizar su maestría en alguna universidad en Japón, y en caso de traslado académico, ¿qué nivel de japonés recomienda tener? Para la maestría no hay problema, incluso hay programas de becas para hacer estudios en el exterior de maestría y doctorado, como la beca del gobierno japonés. Eso, digamos, el título es válido. En caso de traslado académico, dependiendo del programa, como el profesor Hasegawa estaba diciendo, el programa JOY es en inglés, no necesitas nivel de japonés. Puedes estudiar incluso japonés en este programa si así lo deseas, pero la lengua base es el inglés. Y también para otros casos de intercambio, si el profesor del laboratorio que te va a recibir para una estancia de investigación también lo acepta en inglés, pues sería viable, pero en ese caso sí es más probable japonés, en cuyo caso se recomienda pues un japonés conversacional. En la escala de 5 a 1 que tiene el examen de japonés, sería una escala de nivel 3 o nivel 2, que es intermedio avanzado. Y la primera ya se la transmito al profesor. So, sorry for the long Spanish talk. So, Gisela asked us in the chat about any chances that a person can get a job in Japan in a health service, for example, as a medical doctor, nurse. Maybe this is not like exactly for the YNU talk, as Yokohama National University doesn't have like a med school. But if you, professor, have any information regarding these kind of procedures, that will be most welcome.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. I'm sorry, I'm not really knowledgeable about this, but for the limited sense that I get is that there may be some opportunities, but it's not very widespread at this point. So as you say, YNU does not have a medical school, but many bigger universities do, and there is a very strict track for the medical school where you enter, and you need to complete many years in the curriculum in the medical schools to obtain the license. And so even if you are an international student, you come to Japan and you go through all of that. I think there are paths available to you, and there may be some kind of exchange arrangements that bypass that as well. But I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't have specific information about that.
No, it's okay. Thank you. I think actually that the second question could be like an answer to this first question, because she asked also if a foreigner can realize or can like apply for a master's course in any university in Japan. As far as I know, it is possible. Actually, the Ministry of Education has some scholarships regarding that. We as Colombians can apply. So I think there is no problem to do any graduate programs like master's and PhD, right, Professor?
Right. Yes. So yes, and there are kind of portal sites such as the JASO Study in Japan website, and probably others where you can get a list of such programs. And there are many programs that are really actively looking for international students on the graduate level.
All right. Thank you so much. And following with the next question, we already talked a little bit about this, about international exchange. We already did talk about the JOY program and the other options to do some international exchange. She was asking about Japanese language level. We know that for JOY program, that will be English. That will be enough. What if we want to apply to a lab, or let's say for graduate school or any of these other options that we have? Is there a minimum examination level that we need on the JLPT, the Japanese Language Proficiency Test?
If you want to enter directly into the graduate program, I think that the programs have their own requirements. But if you come on the exchange, we do have students who come on the exchange and take classes in Japanese, or and enter a lab and study in Japanese, and there the general level is an N2. If you have N2 in general, you can enter and join the courses in Japanese.
All right, thank you so much. So I'll just translate that one in Spanish for a second. So para Gisela, quien nos hacía la pregunta, sí, cada facultad tiene sus requisitos, pero en general el profesor Hasegawa indica que debe ser nivel 2, N2, que es como nivel intermedio avanzado. Nivel 1 ya es prácticamente el más alto, entonces nivel 2, que sea un nivel bastante fluido, es lo recomendable. Sin embargo, hay que revisar los requisitos de cada facultad. Okay, so we have one question about this. This will apply to me actually. I had this problem or this question when I was applying to INU. So I study industrial engineering, which is a program that is not like available by itself in Yokohama National University. Some of us could apply either to the engineering school or to the business administration school. I did I affiliated to the business administration. But can an industrial engineering student apply for computer sciences program in this case? Do you think that would be okay?
Yes. So you're talking about the exchange, right? Exchange
yes,
program.
I think it's exchange.
Yes, and for the exchange program, it's not a big problem. And as you say, the faculties will not correspond completely, between Colombia National and YNU, and so we'll do our best to place you in the place that you want to be affiliated with, and that fits with your specialization at Colombia National. But there will also always very often be a gap between your very specific specialization and on our side that is not a problem.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, let's continue with some questions for now. We have this one is very interesting. Like someone would like to join, I don't know, maybe a lab in this case, or be part of a research project regarding human sciences. I remember that for the students that apply to the Japanese government, the Ministry of Education scholarship, normally they will be placed as investigator students first. They are not like straight accepted to a master's or a PhD. So this with us.
Yeah, so basically what the student was asking is like how he can join like a laboratory if he's already like graduated from an undergrad. That's like the main question.
Okay, so for the exchange program, or
in general, like if he or she decides to go to Japan and he wants to
I think
join one.
yeah. So I mean, there is the system called Kenkyu Se. It's like the research student, and that's a system that a lot of international students use to first kind of get a foothold into the university before applying officially for the graduate program. That is a route that is available to international students, as long as they can find an appropriate faculty advisor who is willing to take them on as research student.
I see. Okay, thank you very much, Professor. I'm just reading.
thank you, Sensei. Can
through
you hear me
the.
better now? We have do double degree between Columbia National University and YNU.
Regarding double degree, to my knowledge, I'm not familiar with an existing agreement about with double degree. So if you come on the exchange, you will not be eligible for the degree, but you can take the credits back and have it work towards the Columbia National degree. So
Right.
I think at this point, I think it's either or.
Yes, we might have to read again the agreement, or maybe, if possible, in the future, suggest to President
Yeah, I mean that's one.
has been received. Okay, so one more question. This one is regarding what we call in Colombia human education, some social sciences. Is there any program that we can join as undergraduate on this area?
Okay, which area?
That would be like human sciences. This will be like education, maybe history, everything regarding with humans and the social
Right.
sciences.
Yes, so I think the two colleges at our campus that will overlap most is number one, the Urban Sciences Department, the College of Urban Sciences, and also the College of Education. Actually, before the College of Urban Sciences was established, before there was a college called the Education and Human Sciences College, and there was reorganization.
Okay.
It kind of merged partially with engineering, but some of the programs and some of the faculty and some of the courses, the curriculum, still exist from the kind of human sciences field. Yes, I mean it's called urban sciences, but a big part of it is overlaps with human sciences.
A lot of questions coming around. For now, I'm just gonna start first with the questions that could be of interest for everybody, and it's regarding about the exchange procedures. So I have two questions around here. One of those is, which are the requirements from YNU program, the requirements to apply? And the second question is that if the students can apply even if they are underage.
Okay, so if I heard you correctly, number one, what are the application procedures? Was that the questions?
Yes,
Okay.
that one.
And the second one, by underage, how old is underage?
Of age by 18. And in the chat, they said that they will be about 16 years old.
Wow.
Very young.
Okay. First question, the procedures. So the important thing about the procedures is that it's an exchange program. So it is done through the international offices. So we send the application form to your international office, and we talk in advance about the number of students that go out and come in both ways every year. And one of the things about the exchange program is we get checked about the balances, so we need to control the numbers. So Columbia National will have the internal screening, and students who pass the internal screening then get the application form. right now our application form is an Excel file. So you just type in the information on the Excel file, and you submit it to the international office, and that's basically it. So you complete it, and you attach all the necessary documents, and you send it by the deadline. With regard to the age, I actually have never encountered any problems with age. Basically, I think the only rule that we have on our side is that you need to be an officially enrolled student at Colombia National University.
Right, right.
But
yes, we of course have. Thank you, Sensei. So, yeah, we have some internal procedures as well. It has to be a junior year student. So maybe, I don't know, there's quite some chances that some students in Colombia might start university quite young. So that could be a chance. So that's why I guess we were asking this. Let me complement this answer in Spanish with our own requirements. So please hold on for a second. Entonces, como ya escucharon al profesor, por supuesto, hay unos requisitos internos que generalmente son más un balance de números en cuanto a los estudiantes que se permiten por los memorandos de entendimiento y los acuerdos firmados entre las universidades. Algunos de ustedes ya los han compartido en el chat. Es primero, para poder aplicar un intercambio, es tener el 40% de los créditos de la carrera aprobados y tener un PAPA superior a 3.5 como mínimo. Y pues, por supuesto, ser estudiante activo, no estar en una de las reservas de cupo del momento. Tener la historia académica bloqueada. Y ya entonces es comunicarse con su oficina de internacionalización para que puedan enviarle a los estudiantes interesados los documentos que solicita Yokohama, diligenciar el formulario de Excel y ya ellos harán su procedimiento interno. Normalmente es un estudiante por año o 2 estudiantes por año si solo van a hacer un semestre respectivamente. Eso es de acuerdo al convenio. Okay, so let's continue. Let's see some of the questions. So, well, this is most like an internal procedure in Colombia when we come back after the exchange. But what is the procedure for taking the credits in Colombia? So we take the classes in Japan, and then what else? What happens when we come back to Colombia?
Yeah, so that really depends on the procedures and rules.
What we should do with National University. Right, so as you remember, we will receive a transcript with our grades in Yokohama, and then we will use that transcript, right? So in any case, even if it's a graduate or joy program or any program, it will work like that, right? We will get a transcript after we finish the program, and then we can start with the process in Colombia.
Yes.
Let me see. The English level, we haven't talked about the English level, like the minimum requirements, especially for the joy program. So which test and which grades should we have in order to apply for joy program?
Right, the English level requirement is TOEFL IBT 80 or IELTS 6.0. But we are flexible with regard to the specific test. So you can substitute it with a letter from a faculty member at Columbia National University, attesting that your English is equivalent to TOEFL 80.
All right, thank you so much.
With the Japanese, though, we need to be a bit more strict with the Japanese. So we actually need the JLPT score in order to accept the Japanese language proficiency.
And that will be
N2.
N2, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I think for now, this is a good question also concerning everyone. How much money would it cost me to live there? How much money on average would a student spend, let's say, a month living and studying in Japan?
Right. Oh, good question. I should know this. Unfortunately, I do not have it in my head. It's on our fact sheet, and I need to check it actually. But a big part of the expense will be the rent. So for the exchange program, all the participants will be placed in a university dormitory. At this point, it is the dormitory named Tokiwadai International Residence. Now, unfortunately, it's not very cheap. It's not more expensive than the apartments around it, but it is a considerable expense, and that will be a big part of your daily expenses. I'm sorry, I need to check the fact sheet. I don't want to give a figure that is not accurate, so I won't say any numbers, but
So no worries, Professor. It's okay. I think at least based on my in different in different dormitories, but I would say like at minimum, you know, like Professor Hasegawa said, with living expenses, sometimes transportation. I will say at minimum per month, 100,000 yen, and that's still maybe making it barely through the month, depending on your expenses, on your own expenses. So that will roughly count as $1,000 a month, $1,100 a month, $1,100.
yes.
Yeah, that's based on my experience. I don't know, Pedro, if you remember how much did you spend a month?
Yeah, like that's a really good question. I think monthly around the 70,000 yen. Yeah, that would be like I don't know the conversion rate, like $700 maybe.
That was a cheaper estimate that I have, but yeah, I guess we can live with that. Then again, that depends on your
Yeah, mostly that depends on the
own
lifestyle of the
expenses.
person.
The Tokiwadai dormitory is exactly. The Tokiwadai dormitory is right inside campus, so you don't have to spend on transportation to school. So that might help right now to lower some of the expenses. But then again, don't go too low. Just keep in mind that you might have additional expenses every month. And also, for example, for the JOY program, you might need to buy some of the books if you want to study Japanese. So maybe the first month or two, you might spend a little bit more than usual. So, okay, thank you so much. What is the minimum time that we can apply for an exchange? And what about the visa? What is the procedure to obtain the student visa?
Right. So for the first question, the minimum time length is 1 semester. So you can apply for either 1 year or 1 semester. And for the visa procedures, this will be done by our university office. So as part of the application, the program application, that there will be documents that will be necessary for our office to apply for the student visa for you. So and basically, it's done through the university office. So what you need to do is just complete the application on time and attach the supporting documents and send it to us. And we take that to the immigration office, and we get the documents for the visa, and we send it to your university. And you take those documents to the nearest embassy, Japanese embassy or Japanese consulate, to apply for the student visa, and hopefully that goes smoothly.
Okay, thank you so much, Sensei. So I think that for now, like the basic, like overall, the general questions are already covered. I'll just jump into some of more specific questions regarding the different faculties. For example, there is some interest on the physics. Does the university do some research? For example, this student is interested on quantum computing. I don't know if you have some information about these projects.
Yeah, good question. I'm pretty sure that there is. So I don't know personally any faculty working on quantum physics, but but if you go to the university website, there is a link you can search all the researchers in YNU, and you can search by field. So you just put in the research field, whatever you're looking for. Sometimes it does not, the wording is a bit different. So sometimes you want to search a bit more broadly, like physics or something, and everybody doing something related will come up, and you can see who is here.
Okay, thank you so much. Professor Hasegawa is on the history department in Yokohama National University. So his focus would be on history, but he is also the coordinator of the Junior Overseas Year program, the main exchange program, which is why he might have information about these different areas. But I guess it's okay if we are not able to answer all of the questions. We invite you to check the website, ynu.ac.jp/English, and then you might try to check some of the information as well. Okay, so next question on this specifics. Let me check. We already asked about double degrees. Is it possible to apply to the JOY program even if we don't share any studies? Like if my area of study is not offered in any of the faculties at YNU, can I still apply?
Yes, that's not a problem on our side. As long as it's not a problem for you, that's not a problem for us.
That's right. Somebody here is interested on English, actually, English language, literature, or linguistics. Is there any major about these topics in YNU so they can apply for an exchange?
Yes, we have courses that fall under those categories. So there are courses on linguistics, there are courses on English language, and some of this you can join as exchange student. We do not have a full program focusing on those fields, but there are courses that you can take.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Is there any biology program, like a biology major at YNU?
Again, no, to my knowledge, no official kind of course on that, but there are many classes related to biology. We have many faculty members who specialize in biology, some of whom are affiliated with different departments, urban science or environmental information. But yes, there will be classes and labs that focus on biology.
That's awesome. Yes, thank you, Sensei. So we invite once again everybody to check the website to see the different not only the majors that are offered at the university, but also, if possible, check the laboratories, check the research that is being done there, check the syllabus. I'm going to look for the syllabus website so you can check for the different classes that you can take, and then see if it's an option for you guys to apply. I have another question here that will be interesting for everybody, and it's regarding financing. Not only about the living costs, but which options do we have to finance our staying in Japan?
Right. So the main source of financial support for the exchange program is that there is what's called the JASO scholarship. And this is a scholarship that gives out 80,000 yen per month. And it's a competitive scholarship, so that it really depends on the semester and the year you're applying, how many scholarships are available. Some years we have 0, but depending on the number that we have, the application for the scholarship is actually included as part of the program application. So if you check that yes, you do want to apply for the scholarship, automatically you will be considered for the scholarship.
That's Great, teacher. Thank you so much. Yes, me and Pedro, we received the JASO scholarship. That definitely helps covering most of the monthly expenses. But then again, you should check your own expenses. Sometimes you might spend more, you might spend less. So yeah, it's more like a financial aid that you have to keep in mind. Let me see. I think that we're almost covering most of the questions that would apply to everyone. I already answered on the chat that for you guys that are interested on working options, you can apply for a work permit while you're a student. The only thing that I'm not entirely sure, since that will be a maximum of 28 hours a week, if I'm not mistaken.
I need to check. Yeah, there is definitely a maximum number of hours, and it's different between whether it's during the semester or if it's during the vacation period. During the vacation period, it's very loose. There's a relatively high maximum limit. During the semester, obviously, because of the class requirements, the requirement is lower. But yes, you are eligible to work as long as you get the exemption, and there is a limit.
Right. Thank you so much. Then again, we received a lot of questions about different areas of study, like geology, engineering, electrical engineering, for example, law. There's many questions about the exchange regarding their own programs. As Professor Hasegawa said, you can check on the website if you want to find out more information about it. And regarding the JOY program, if you want to apply to the JOY program, it doesn't matter from which school, which faculty you belong to. Everyone, as long as they are active students on Colombia National University, and of course, as long as they fulfill all the requirements, then they can apply. So no matter which school or what is your major, you can apply for the JOY program. And just as experience, I think it will be a great experience. That's my advice for all of you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight in Colombia, today in Yokohama. It was amazing. Please, let's keep in touch. This is more like a friendly personal request, but of course, also the university level. We are trying to promote most mobility from Colombia and to Colombia. So it will be also great and wonderful if we see some Japanese students coming to Colombia National University. So on behalf of the whole team at the International Office, thank you so much for being here. And just last question before we leave. What are your top 3 favorite things from Yokohama National University?
Top 3. Oh. So, number 1, I guess, would be the students.
Thank you.
Number 2, the trees. There's a big forest. And number 3, this is something that Andres, Pedro, you have not seen. Actually, it's a new thing. So we now have goats.
Oh.
Goats.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
To eat the grass on the campus. Yeah, so those are the top 3. Yeah.
That'll be so fun actually to see. I would like to see that someday. All right, Professor Hasegawa, once again, thank you so much for being with us, for taking the time for all this wonderful information that you provided us. And hopefully we'll see you soon, if possible, if all the pandemic allows us, we will be waiting for you in Colombia.
Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for joining. It's late at night, so thank you for joining us.
All right, thank you. Muchas gracias a todos por estar en esta charla. Si tienen más inquietudes, los invitamos nuevamente a que visiten las páginas de la Universidad Nacional de Yokohama y, por supuesto, las páginas de la DRE, de la ORI, Sede de Bogotá, para que conozcan un poco más sobre el convenio, el intercambio y nos pregunten en nuestras redes sociales, que el equipo de la ORI y el equipo SUACE estará siempre dispuesto a acompañarlos en sus procesos de movilidad. Muchísimas gracias a todos y que tengan una feliz noche.
Universidad Nacional de Colombia, proyecto cultural, científico y colectivo de Nación.